Hi everyone, just wanted to do a quick touch point via video just to give you some feedback on your discussion post regarding employee success plans, as well as the SMART Goals assignment, which I'm in the middle of marking now and will have done probably by the end of the day or the next day for sure. So the employee success plans, I noticed a lot of you had posted that you don't do them, although many of you do performance reviews and performance management, which is very similar in terms of annual check-ins with your staff to see how it's going and identify goals or identify strengths or weaknesses. So that's might not be called employee success plans, but it's very much a part of it. The only key difference is when you're focused on success, it's a little different than a standard review that's a checklist that says, you know, you do this well, you do this satisfactory, you do this poorly. Those are the standard reviews that we all use. Where success plans differ is that you can still identify what is needed to be worked on, what skills your staff need to hone, but it's done in a more positive approach. So rather than it being punitive or, you know, scored, you set a goal. So perhaps one of the goals would be for a staff member to interact more positively with families. And that can be a goal that they work on for the next 6 months. That approach toward building success is better than, say, you know, you communicate with families poorly or needs improvement, which ends up having staff leave feeling discouraged or deflated. So it's all really the same, but it's just the approach that's different. And I know it's time consuming to work these in, but they can be done in a self-reflective way. So for example, a manager or director can say to the staff, here's a quick checklist for you to identify how it's been going, how your work's going. And please identify 2 goals that you want to work on this year to improve in ways that you feel you need to improve, so that it shouldn't take any more time from the director. They can email those out or pass them out in paper copy, ask the staff to return them within a week or 2, take a few minutes to review each one and either write comments or feedback, or meet with them to sit down and discuss the goals for the year. But it gets away from that sort of checklist, how am I doing, which we all have a tendency to just mark, you know, middle of the road, everybody's good. It's also more positive because it's goal-based, succession-based. But, you know, essentially they are performance management, they're performance reviews. It's just a different way of doing it. And it's important to find the time and make the time. One, the sort of accountability and due diligence that we have to evaluate our staff and we have to give coaching and mentoring as part of our director roles. But also, two, if everyone's focused on a goal or two to get better, your center is always, you know, optimizing performance and optimizing their skill sets and always working towards better practice, which is what we all want, right? So I encourage you to think about that and think about different ways of embedding it, and probably a lot of you are doing it. I know some said, we don't do that, but we do this, and it sounds exactly like it. So chances are you're doing it in an informal way, but you could formalize it just by having it in your policies and practices and documenting a little bit on exactly what you're doing. The other thing I want to say about that is if the directors don't have enough time to do it, do you have a senior staff person that you could delegate that to who would have the time or could make the time and who would also be experienced enough to offer that guidance to your staff and goal setting? So the second thing, other than employee success plans, that I wanted to mention is your SMART goals. Some of you have been very detailed and very specific. Others still had goals that were still quite vague, and it's really important. The secret sauce is the details. The more detailed a goal, the more specific, the more you break down the who, what, where, when, why, how is it going to be measured, who's going to do it, when's it going to be done, how much is needed. The more clear and specific, the more likely you'll reach the goal. So that's just a little bit of feedback for today. We're about halfway through our course. Thanks for engaging frequently and asking really good questions and responding to each other. So far, so good. That's all for today. Thank you.